for our first space in the studio, actually, to show them around that.
Hey guys, welcome. So, what we got here today, let's turn that music down just a bit for you, a little bit more, there we go. So basically I totally forgot it was the Frontier Unlocked this evening, and guess what, I'm not working, so I thought, well, why not, let's have a look. Hey Joshy, how you doing, my friend? Let's have a look, see what happens, see what they have to say, and go from there, really. I'm just waiting for the link to start working, and once it is, we are on the go. There we go, right. Okay. So, we're just... Right, it's not working. What's going on? Frontier. Frontier, are you going to look? On stream. Okay. Hey Jenny, how you doing? Something is not working. It's not, it's just a black screen at the moment. What is going on? There we go. Right, starting soon. Okay, bear with me guys. On one. It says it's starting soon. There we go. So, how are we all today? It's hammering it down with rain here at the minute in the UK. Make sure this is working. Hopefully everything's good your end, guys. Sorry to hear that, Jenny. I've still got shoulder and neck pain myself, so I know the feeling. Oh, here we go. We've got a 5-minute countdown now, aren't we? Yep. Right, pause that up, and up there background. So there we go. Do you guys want me on camera? Where am I? See how bad I look. I haven't had a shave. Need a haircut. How you doing, guys? You alright? All aboard! Make me even bigger for you. So someone noticed I put on some weight. Reason being is I haven't been obviously as movable in the neck area recently, so it is what it is. Cheers, Stu. Hey Tomo! Thomas! How you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. So as you can see, we only have a little bit of time to go, but what I do need to do is put my headphones on, because I won't be able to hear it, and you guys will get feedback. Right, do let me know if you lose audio, guys. Bit loud. Hopefully you guys still have audio. And we're all good to go. Tempest Stranger, how you doing, my man? Yes, I did see you on Facebook earlier. All the best. Good luck. Hope it all is okay. Mind you though, normally when it hits central Florida, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's died off, it never dies off, but it's not as severe, is it? Depends which way it's coming from though, I guess, whether it's the Gulf or, what is it, Pacific, the other side, the east side. I do look a bit rough today, guys. Couldn't be bothered. 2 minutes 20 to go. Well, I hope you're all doing alright. Thanks for joining the stream. I'm obviously not trying to milk Planet Coaster 2, but I totally forgot. I had all intentions of loading up and doing some building for you all. Which volume needs to go up then? The stream volume? Is that better for you? I think that's better. Let me know, guys. Also, let me know when they start talking, because obviously I can't hear it back. Hopefully it's all good. Yes, I was having a little play, but what did I actually do? Tried sorting out some of the track for the invert, but that was about it. But yesterday I did do some building, and where we were putting in those buildings in the last stream, I've made that a little bit more detailed, so it's working its way up the back. So there's a little bit of an update to have. Maybe see how I feel after this, and maybe we'll do a stream after. We will see, guys. But I'm excited about this. Drop tracks and switch tracks and dark rides apparently. So we'll have to wait and see. And that light's a bit bright. There we go, that's better. I don't look so grey, I look more grey now. 30 seconds, guys. But yeah, let me know if I'm too quiet or it's too loud, whatever, guys, once they start talking. But let's see what they have to show us. Fingers crossed it's first up. Cat 4. Ooh, that's a big one. Well, good luck, Tempest. Stay safe, bud. I'll probably close this stream down after Stuart, and then may do a stream. We'll see. Here we go, guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Frontier Unlocked. It is September, Chantel. September already.
I know.
We're getting towards the end of September. It's done. The year is almost over, chaps. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone, to our monthly show. We talk all things Frontier, all the news we've got. And by golly,
it's huge.
It's a big show today. There's a lot of information. I think all of our various families will be eating very well today. Our Planet family will be eating well. Zoo and Coaster will be eating very well today. And let's not forget also our commanders that are sitting there patiently waiting for us as well. There's some news for you too. Yes. But before we do, we should probably say hello to some people in chat, shall we?
We should
let
indeed.
You start, Chantel, because you've got better eyes than me.
Oh my gosh. We've got DJ Englishman saying, is the show going to be an hour? Oof. We've got lots to show.
It might be more than an hour, to be fair, but yes, hang on in there.
Yes, Zootcraft, hello. We've got Yorkie B. We've got so many people. Commander Zulu Romeo, hello, hello. Loads of people. Yeah, and we are seeing, so it's Taipan, we are seeing YouTube, we are seeing Twitch. It's very hard, wow, okay, it's very hard to read all your comments, but hello, welcome all of our Planet family, all of our Frontier family, all of our commanders, welcome to the show. I guess we should probably go on, and because there's a lot to get through. So I'll stop waffling. So should we go through and say what's coming up? Yes.
All right. So I'll start?
Yeah,
I'll
go
start.
for it.
All right. So after this, we have another world premiere of a deep dive number 3 for Planet Coaster 2. Where we'll be looking at some of the management aspects. And people ask us what's changed in Planet Coaster 2. Well, this will cover off pretty much all of your questions. And then following that, we have a very special guest, the wonderful senior executive producer, Adam Woods, will be joining me on the sofa to play through the same level from the deep dive, just to show you that it's a real level and exists in the game, and then give you maybe answer some more questions that I might have and show you some of the rides that are in the game. It's really, really cool, and it's a really cool level as well to show you. So that's fun. And then after that,
that was back in March time, I think, wasn't it?
We've got lots to share, and yeah, it's going to be very big. Lots of updates, lots of information to talk about.
Yeah, I saw some fingers crossed in the chat, so you never know, maybe it'll pay off. Let's see. And then after that, I'll be joined by the wonderful Zacharama. It's not his real name, his name's Zach, but I like calling him Zacharama. I make loads of names up for people. But he'll be joining us to talk about Elite Dangerous, the Mandalay. We've got some treats for you there, and obviously Power Play 2.0. We've got some information. It's a big one. It's a very big show, but That's not all. We've got some housekeeping stuff. Chantel, do you want to go through some of the bits that we have to do?
So we have our Twitch drops for our Elite Dangerous Commanders. So you can earn the Stinger White for
That's nice.
the Crate Mark II and for the Anaconda as well.
Well,
and
you know.
all you have to do is just stick around for the 20 minutes in order.
That is a nice paint. I haven't seen this paint job actually. It's the first time I've seen it. It's a
Don't know
really
what to
nice
say.
paint job on 2 average ships. Joking, I'm joking. They're all right. They're okay. I'm joking.
So yeah, just 20 minutes, and then you can do exclamation mark drops in the chat if you want more info on how you can claim them. And we also have some new emotes. We've seen a few people in chat already using them.
Yeah, there they are.
So we have Bodhi, which is our lovely happy shark. We have got King Coaster, who is laughing, and we also have Cigaro Guitaro with our little hype one as well. I'm seeing everyone in chat using them.
Yes.
And the other ones are still to come. So we have a
they'll be
Gulpy
doing
one.
soon. They need to be approved by Twitch.
They do.
Don't know why. I mean, maybe Gulpy's giving Twitch a bit of hassle, but
Probably.
they'll be approved by the next show chat, and then you'll be able to use them all. But it's great to see.
They're all going crazy.
Wow, okay. You found them, chat. Well done. They are. That's them. That is indeed the emotes. So cool. All right. So
We've got even more to talk about. We need to thank the mods. So thank you to all of our lovely mods who are in chat, helping us out every single stream. And we also have our lovely prizes that you can find out how to win later in the show.
It's a smorgasbord.
It's huge.
It's a lot of stuff going on. All right, well, let's kick us off then. Let's waste no time. Let's go for our world premiere, deep dive number 3. Enjoy.
Here we go.
Hello there, my name is Robert James and I'm a UI designer on Planet
Let's
Coaster
do
2.
this.
And I'm Xander Payne, and I'm a senior games designer on Planet Coaster 2.
We're really excited to be talking about Planet Coaster 2 today. In this deep dive, we're going to talk about all the management features that we have to offer.
So, let's get straight into our Swimpressive update.
So here we are in one of our career levels, Summit Awesome. So it's a really, really interesting level actually. I love what they've done with the art team for these scenarios. Really, really interesting.
They've made it just so beautiful, having things like I love that we've got like the park set up into 2 sides, and then with the monorail going between the 2. It is really
Really
cool.
interesting. But it's worth
Not
knowing that
for
we
me.
are on a development build, so not everything you see here is final. So to dive straight into all these management features, so first we're going to take a look at the HUD. So in the previous deep dives, we've shown off things about the browser, but it's good to kind of have a look and see what things maybe didn't exactly get explained or touched on. So first off, all the blueprints are here by default, and then you can also look at the tools on the right. These tools are present in each one of the tabs inside of the browser, and this allows you basically to switch between building new or building from these blueprints, and that's the same across these. Inside of the career levels as well, you will have some research, so not all these blueprints will be available to you straight off the bat.
A little bit part beyond
As
to
you
me.
progress through the career, you're going to be able to unlock more of these blueprints, but you can always build new, so there's always an option for you. And then in the scenery as well,
Lots of blueprints
Lots
in
and
the scenery.
lots of scenery.
The art team have outdone themselves, bringing so many items to our blueprints to the game.
as well, one of the things that you'll be happy to know about is the fact that we can actually increase the browser size. With, as you say, with so many scenery paths, it's good that you're able to see more and more of them. If we look up in this top left-hand side, you've got a few extra tools that'll be really integral to your management. So one is notifications. Obviously, we got notifications for all different types, and usually the ones that will appear in here will be kind of the minor ones, but as things start to progress and more important things start to appear, you will see new variations of this notification button appear down here, so that you can always have a straight look at the really important things going on in your park. For example, if a staff were to be fired or something like that, that's something you really need to know right off the bat.
Don't need to know that. What are they going to do?
One of the other tools we've got is park expansion. A really, really cool tool. So we haven't really got much additional land to build on in this level, but in some of the other ones, you're able to expand out your level by buying different sections of land. And one really cool thing that we're doing is giving limitations on these bits of land as well. So as you can see here, like this one, for obvious reasons, you can't put paths or pools, or terrain or scenery, and there'll be loads of different variation throughout all the different career levels. So it gives players a real challenge
Afternoon,
on how they
Monzi.
design their parks. The next thing, objectives. So obviously with any career campaign, you have your objectives. You've got your bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, and these will be unlocked as you progress through the story. You can open this on the side, or you can pin it on the top, so you always have that visible as you do other things. And then last but not least is our management screens. So we've got a few different areas. I won't touch on them all because we're going to look a bit deeper in some of the sections a bit later in this video.
Again, I think it's more to do with the management and challenge side of the game, not the sandbox. I hope you don't have to buy them. Surely sandbox you can just open the map up.
One thing we've tried to keep integral within our management screens is this idea of sort of modular sections and having less information but showing more. So it's a lot more understandable for players, and if they want
Samuel, Duncan, it's been a while. Hope you're both well.
Really deep like you could with the info panels. This is supposed to be surface level.
Cheers,
interesting things that can make you do quick actions. So another one, for example, park rating, a lot more clear than in the first game. You're able to see which ones do really well, and also we got this weighting system. So the one that's performing the worst is actually going to have the most effect on your park. So it's almost like an incentive to try and keep all four of them kind of equal as you progress, so that the one that's doing the worst isn't going to really pull down your park rating. Very quickly on guests, you've got some different thoughts, and then it also says your guest needs here. Obviously, the higher the.
Nothing in a minute. Just going through the menus. I thought this was supposed to be drop tracks, transfer tracks, and dark rides. That was what they labelled the ads as.
Sandra's going to really dive into this deeply in a minute. So the next thing we'll look at quickly is the attraction and shops. So this is just basically a big list of everything that's in your park. You've got these drop-down menus, so you can easily organize. You've got your different sorting abilities at the top, able to see prestige, income, price, that sort of thing. So you can see everything at a kind of global level within your park. And this is very similar to the staff as well, where you can see all of your staff, how they're paid, names, locations, all that sort of thing. Research is what I briefly mentioned when I was talking about the browser. So obviously you're able to unlock all these different blueprints, and this will be done through this research screen, where you gain research points through your career levels.
It's just the same, just differently laid out, isn't it? Basically, that's all.
Different blueprints.
Yeah, so something that's worth pointing out here is that
I'm a bit confused why they've advertised everything as drop tracks, switch tracks, and dark rides. Yet here we are going through a menu system.
Campaign, which you then keep.
And I won't dive too much into this one because we're going to talk about this a bit later. But these are your finances. Inside of the settings now, we have added this accessibility tool to be able to increase and decrease your UI scaling. So if I apply it here, notice how everything got larger. So it's great for people on PC who want to be able to play the way they want to play. You can see this is increased across everything. So all the browser is bigger, all these buttons, all the info panels, everything. Next, we're going to talk about heat maps, which I know you really are excited to talk about, Xander.
Yeah. So the heat maps, they're a great sort of tool we've provided into this game that allows you to see how everything is working in your park. So on this first heat map, we are looking at guest moods.
So basically, Planet Zoo.
And we can see if guests are happy or less happy based on the colours that the guests show up within the mood. And scrolling through the different ones, you can see that you can see the same things for their needs. So you can see where your guests are thirsty in your park and where they are hungry as well. The next one we can see here is for guest tolerances. So in the original Planet Coaster, guests would have a tolerance for their nausea and fear. We have now got a few more tolerances, and the guests will assess your rides based on both the ride height, the speed, as well as the fear and the theming and the length of the queue. So different guests will be willing to wait for different lengths of time in queues, which is really cool.
Yeah, really cool. And as well, we've also added more complexity to the staff as well. So yeah, we've got staff morale. As we can see here, if we zoom in on this little mascot guy, we got the staff morale, we've got staff pay, and we have the staff breaks.
Golpy looks like he needs to go on a break.
So yeah, it's not only guests that we've improved on, we've also improved on the staff as well.
So the next one we're looking at is power. So power is a new feature that is in Planet Coaster 2, and this allows you to well, power your rides. So it seems like logical. So I believe you've placed down a new coaster in this park. It might be on the other side. And over here, we can see that it has not got any power, and it has a lovely little flashing UI icon for you.
Okay, so we don't need a generator, we need a distributor. So we already have generators on this side, as you can see, since half of it is already powered. So we just need another distributor to basically increase this radius that has been made from the generators. So we need it. We're not artists, so this isn't going to be pretty. We will just put it down. We'll link it up to the system, really easy, and boom, there we are.
So now we've got the water heat map, which
Okay.
allows you to see if you've
I
got
don't think
water
we needed
running to all of your pools
electricity, but
properly.
anyway.
And you can also see the water cleanliness, which is another feature of the water system.
So the other thing you can do is then look at your profit, look at your finances. And these will
I
then
would
highlight all
assume,
of your-
Joshy, we can turn them off,
all of your
but
shops.
I still
guest
think
services,
in
that kind of
Planet
thing,
Zoo
that
in
will,
sandbox
that will get
mode,
your
you
money over
still
time,
had to
and
have
you can basically see
the
how well or badly
water
they're doing.
cleansers and
The next
everything.
one to look
So
at is the scenery, which I know is
if
close to your
anyone
heart,
knows
Sandra, so if you wanna
different,
talk
can
about
you
that?
say?
So scenery is something that's very important to the guests and to your park. So the rides themselves look at the scenery, and they will, that will increase the prestige of the rides. In the original Planet Coaster, the scenery system was often quite opaque, and the players didn't necessarily see how it was working.
Yeah, so do I.
So in this one, after request, we have brought it up to the players in a heat map so that they can really see exactly what the scenery is doing and where it is affecting things.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well, because we know that our players love the creativity aspect. So it's really good to kind of link this in between the more improved management systems that we're trying to work with. So you can make really beautiful parks, but it also has the impact as well. And then lastly is operations.
So this is the sort of the wear and tear features of the rides, so how things are functioning. So we've got the condition, which tells you if the ride is working or if it's in need of assistance, basically.
Yep. And then we got pool safety as well, which is basically if you've got these brand new staff types called lifeguards, which we will jump on after this when we start to talk about the pools. They basically just monitor and just make sure that all your pool is safe for all the guests that come across. So that
Why
is all of
are
that.
those palm trees
all the
going
heat maps so
like
far.
that?
So you
What I want
explained
to
a
know.
lot about the guests and the
They look
improvements we've
wrong.
done, and how much deeper we've really gone into the systems there. But we've also got the weather as
This
well,
is
which also
boring the
has
life
impact
out of
on
me.
guests,
I'm
right?
sorry, guys.
Yeah, so the weather itself can affect the guests in several different ways. One of the main ones being sunburn. So if you have a very hot park, you've been blessed with good weather, then your guests will start to experience things like sunburn. So it's important to provide the guests with sun cream, which can be bought from several shops, or to also provide shade and cover in the park so that they aren't exposed to the sun for the whole duration of their stay.
And also on the flip side of that as well, when it starts to rain quite a lot, what do you need? An umbrella.
Exactly.
We're used to that in the UK, nothing but rain. So you want to make sure that your shops, you're providing these things. So you want to be able to provide the sun cream, provide the umbrellas, to make sure your guests are happy in all weathers.
So here is an example where it is actually raining, and you can see the guests themselves have got their umbrellas out. And as this is Planet Coaster, you can, of course, sell umbrellas to your guests as well.
Yeah, not everyone is going to be so prepared for the rain. You'd always expect when you go to a theme park it's going to be nice and sunny. So if you are slightly disappointed by that, at least you can buy an umbrella in the park.
And something that we wanted to present in Planet Coaster 2 with the weather is the predictability of it. You can see on the screen at the moment what the weather is forecast for the whole day, as well as what you should be expecting to see in the coming days. Guests will have multiple moods. They will
Do you know what's really frustrating
mostly
about
content,
this
so they are
whole...
just in a happy
Where are we
mood.
now?
And this is sort of
20 minutes of
relaying to the
video
player
that
this
we've
guest has got
watched
nothing
is...
wrong,
I don't know if you
and they are
guys have
waiting
asked
to
for
have some
any
fun.
of this, but I
But
haven't.
then moving on from this, you will find guests
So
that
that
are
I really
in
do
a
hope
happy
this can
mood
all
or
be
an
turned off in
excited mood,
Sandbox. I
which is
really
based
do.
on the rides that they have been on. Have they been having a good time? And are they excited to go on more rides? But then to also add to the feedback section of moods, we have some more negative moods, which is based on if they're bored, if they're unhappy, if they're uncomfortable, and if they are desperate.
Yeah, we've got a really interesting range of behaviours with these guests, so it's really cool to be able to see how they react and how you, as someone managing this park, is able to try and contend with those issues and try and meet their needs. We want to talk about the staff now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, been a lot of improvements.
Did
but
we?
one thing of note is that now we have
Did we really?
2 new staff types. We have the lifeguard and the ride attendant. Given as we're just by a pool, I think the lifeguard's probably a good one to start off with.
So the lifeguards will need to be near your pools, and they will be increasing the coverage of the sort of the safety rating in the pools. Yeah, so now in Planet Coaster 2, these are people that are actually staff you have to manage and control and tell them when to actually when to do their shift.
Exactly. So that's just another example of how much additional control now we've got over some of these staff members. And yeah, we've talked about integral staff, but we've also got a couple new mascots, right? So one of them is this really, really interesting bard with an absolutely fabulous haircut, I must say myself. He's got a lot of flair about him, doesn't he? Really, really.
Oh, he's fantastic. I'm just sort of speechless in awe. Look at him go.
But it's not just him as well. We also have the Viking as well.
I have no judgment.
And
A particular person designed that
Jim
one.
Goals, or she.
She. I was going to say
she in this instance.
She in this instance.
So obviously, when you spawn them, they come in male and female, so you get to see this different variation. And this goes alongside all the other new different mascots that we've gotten. So we got a nice new collection of mascots for players, which we hope they'll really enjoy seeing doing their thing around the park. So there's some more interesting staff features that we can talk about. One of which is the staff zone.
Yeah. So the staff zones is a really great way to sort of paint out onto your park where your different staff are going to work. So you can, if you were to create a new one here.
Sorry guys, I thought this would be a bit more
drawing
entertaining
where
than this.
it connects for the staff, and then when you place staff in that zone, they will then operate within the bounds of that zone.
And this links really deeply actually with the staff scheduler. Let's say now I've made this new zone, Zone 6, and now I wanted to make sure that our new Viking that we just placed down always stays in there. So we can open the full scheduler here. When you open up the staff scheduler, you can see all the different staff that you have and their names. You can locate them.
Yeah, so that is something that is really sort of new over the original Planet Coaster, is the ability that is the functionality of only paying the staff for the work that they do. So when they are not working in your park, you're not paying them for that.
Yeah,
it gives you a lot of control to really specify and sort of maximize your profits with this system.
Exactly, and you can also go even deeper. So if I just chose, let's say,
a bit hard done by, to be honest with you.
This is go into advanced settings, and then I can select all the things that I want them to do. If I go into the scheduler here,
none of this interests me.
I believe they're unassigned to a staff zone. So if I wanted that staff to jump into this new zone I made for the plaza, Zone 6, and then now he's there, and it inherits the color and the icon as well. So you don't always have to know the exact name of the zone. As long as when you send it up, you're aware that, the red area is this one, yellow is that one, is another accessibility thing for us, basically.
If we were to look at one of our staff members themselves, so on here, we can see on their panel that they are content, they've got fair pay, and they have taken a break. So what this all feeds in is that the pay and taking rests within a day all feed into the morale system of a staff, which means that if you keep your staff happy, they will work more efficiently in your park. And if you don't keep them happy, they're going to leave your park.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the attractions.
Yeah, so as we mentioned earlier in the heat maps, the guests have different tolerances. And so guests will be examining your ride to see if it matches the tolerances that they have. To see how your rides match up with this, if you were to click on the ride for me. And then if we go to the testing tab.
Yep.
And on here, you can see we're currently on the live data, but you can also see the results, which tells you all of this information about the ride.
Yeah, so we'll be able to see from our guests in the park, see and actually try and meet their needs, even for the attractions, which is really useful. So hopefully you can't just go in there free roam these incredibly crazy coasters. You have to kind of think about what your guests would actually feel about that, beyond the limitations of actually building the coaster itself.
And one of our other tolerances is actually to do with what the guests can or can't eat. Would you mind showing us a very brief overview of the shop's menu so we can see how these restrictions play into the menu?
Sure thing, yeah. So
I get
obviously
that they're
the shop
showing
here,
this
beef
because
beef,
there's going to be a lot of new players
primarily
coming
does
to the
beef,
game.
to no one's surprise. So yeah, you've got your guest thoughts about what.
Even
what
if I was
have.
new to the
You
game,
can go
this
into the prices
wouldn't
then.
interest me.
You can change the prices and choose what different things you'd like it to serve. So obviously you got gluten-free burger, cheeseburger, plain burger, and then these dietary requirements, as you just mentioned, will appear now inside of these as well. So you know that when you select
Oh, I am deadly
different-
sorry,
different
guys.
items for your
Seriously,
shop,
because this is, I mean,
you
it's
know
boring the
that
heck out of me.
They're going to have certain. You're going to be meeting the needs of some, but maybe excluding others.
Yeah. So if you were to just click on one of the cogs on the right there, which is for the settings of this particular menu item, you can see on the left-hand panel there we've got sort of extras. So you can add extras, and they will increase the dietary sort of what it contains within that one item. So guests will pay more for the items with lots of extras, and they will get more enjoyment out of it. However, you are then restricting the number of items that the guests can actually purchase from if they have any restrictions.
Exactly. So yeah, if you had some guests with extra restrictions, then maybe it's not advisable to go ketchup.
Don't kneel. I had to keep quiet on that one.
Whereas maybe just adding some extra cheese should be.
It's just like the Greek mascot character.
You can see on here the breakdown of how many of your guests can actually eat those items.
Apart from the Carry On films, when have you ever seen the Greeks act like that?
Do you want to sort of dive back into that a bit?
Yeah, if we dive a little bit deeper into the power management.
I mean, the Gladiator would be a
there's quite
totally
lot,
different
really.
film if it was.
Central one, yeah, there we go. So with
It's,
power management, you have multiple
yeah.
different generators that you can use, and you will need to place
Today's times,
several
I'd
generators
say.
as well to provide for larger parks. So, and then the generators will then connect up to the distributors, which we are now looking at, and the distributors will sort of say how much
we already
power
had this
they are able
explained?
to place in an area, and then you can see how many items are or shops and rides and everything are actually connected to that distributor.
We've also got the solar panels as well. So that gives you a green option. So you got these yet, and then you've also got...
Yeah, then you can hook that up. And as you can see here, these items are showing up red. What this means in this case is that they are not actually connected up to anything else on the grid. So they're not, you've got a power generator that's not doing anything. You might want to make use of it.
Is there anything different between the sort of solar and then the actual power generator?
Yeah, so several of the differences you will experience is that the actual cost to sort of generate electricity will be different across the different generators, and also the costs to place them. So solar panels are significantly more expensive than your generators.
So the next thing is the water supply. So very, very similarly to the power systems, we have the same sort of thing of having we have a well, we have distributors, and we got the pump. So the well and the pump are the things that draw the water.
Yep, so these are your water generators.
Yep.
And then you then have a distributor which has a radius of effect, and that needs to hit the water around it.
Exactly. So you want these to be near in your pool so that they have effect. We use the same systems that we do for power, so hopefully if you master one, you can master the other pretty quickly.
Yeah. Cool. So now we've got our water system set up. You can sort of see that the pools themselves
Let's move on.
have water.
Let's forget about all this.
Water that the
And
guests
show us what we want to see.
Exactly. So if you didn't have this in place, you start to see that the pools themselves would start to turn like a murky green. They really wouldn't be appetizing to the guests, and you find that they won't start coming to the pool because they think it's got really dirty and muggy. So having this in place will keep all those pools clean, and also for your flumes as well, because the flumes do require you to have.
It's
the clean
got
water
zero
as well.
electricity, so it's
and
not.
The more guests
It's not
that you
going to
have
work.
going through into your pools, the more sort of filtration that you will need to
Or
have.
am I
set
missing
up.
something there?
This is based on the throughput of guests.
Exactly, and very similar to the power systems. Again, you have the things like being able to quickly use the panels to go between objects and seeing what's inside them. So hopefully, yeah, as we said, master one, master the other. The next thing we wanted to move on to was maintenance, right?
Yeah, so maintenance.
No.
This is the mechanics and the wear and tear. So looking at the maintenance tab of the water pump, we have multiple areas, including the condition and the servicing.
Guys,
the condition is a familiar.
I feel like a
the
fake
original
now.
Planet Coaster, where it will start to degrade after a certain period of time, and then your device will break down. So the servicing is the ability
Cheers,
for players
Jan.
to control
Much appreciated.
if this condition is going to go down or not. So you
Thank you,
have
dude.
the service badge, and this badge will sort of last for a certain amount of time, and if you don't keep on top of your servicing, the badge you will lose the service badge, and the condition will start to degrade.
Exactly, and so you basically you want your mechanics to be in the vicinity doing the exact thing you want them to do. You could do this through the scheduler, but equally, as you said, you could do emergency call if you want, and emergency refurbish as well. So
We'll get the
you
Hoover
do
out in a
still have
minute.
this option.
Got hoovering up. You
In
can all
case
watch
of
me have a Hoover.
emergency, you can press these buttons.
More interesting.
But it's much more advisable that you go through the sort of scheduler and just ensure that a service is due. Like we can see it's due in 108 minutes.
I've clicked the right video,
so
haven't I?
Yeah, you want to keep on top of it to make sure that your conditions never drop too low. All right, so the final thing we want to talk to you today about is the finances. So these can be found inside of park management. You'll see little splatterings of this information all around all the info panels and everything, but a really good way to see the global view of how your financials are doing in the park is through the management screen. So if I go into the financial sections here, we did briefly touch on this earlier, but I'm going to show you a bit more about it this time. So you've got your park value, park cash, profit breakdown. As you can see, you've got this huge graph on the right. This is again something I mentioned before about trying to make everything really accessible to the players. So players understand everything when it's a lot more visually attractive. So we wanted to include these graphs.
Pretty much,
and
Joshy.
when you first
Pretty
start off the park,
much.
you may not see it being this useful, but the longer your park draws out, the more you start to see these trends, and you get to see how it becomes actual.
You've also got to look at it from the point of view of them bringing new players to the game, so they have to explain all this. Obviously, to us, it doesn't really make a difference because we don't play the game this way. But from a new person perspective, like when I first started playing Planet Coaster, it would have been cool to have videos like this, to be honest with you, because you could have just watched it once and you knew what you were doing. So I get it, and I get that they're adding loads more stuff to it, but they labelled the stream as drop tracks, switch tracks, and dart rides, not over half an hour now of two guys that get excited about menus.
While the sales cut does take off the money for you, so you don't have to worry about it, you do still have that option to pay off if you want to, but it's a secondary option. It's not the main way that you have to worry about it, so you could carry on playing. As long as you're improving the performance of your park, it will actually get better and you will start to pay off. So this isn't something you necessarily have to worry about, but as you see here, you pay off your loan, it says how much of your park cash is left, how much repayment, and the sales cut. As you see, the sales cut itself will decrease based on the amount you pay back or the amount of loan you take in the first place.
Thanks so much for watching and looking at the expanded management options of Planet Coaster 2.
Planet Coaster 2 is now available for pre-order, launching on November 6th for PC and console.
Guys, it's raining. Again. I do hope they're going to show us more now.
So there we go. That was the wonderful Xander and Robert talking about all things management in Planet Coaster 2 coming November 6th. That was a chunky asset, but we've got more because I'm joined by the wonderful Adam Wood, Senior Executive Producer. Thank you so much for spending this evening with me.
Thank you for having me on again.
That's right. It was always a cozy intro, wasn't it? It's, nice. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
But we're going to, I say we, the royal we, you're going to play through the level we just looked at, that the guys are playing through there, look at management. So that was Summit Awesome.
Summit Awesome. Good play on pun there.
I know, did you think that? Who thinks
it's
of
a bit,
names?
well, I'm from Essex, so Summit is kind of like Summit Awesome. So
yeah.
I just crowbarred that in there. I didn't, but I just tried to crowbar it.
Is it you that makes the names up, though?
No.
It isn't you?
No.
Okay.
There's much more intelligent, better people than me that do that, thankfully.
All right, well, look, we're going to... Why do you want to show us this level?
Just
I think
do it.
Two things. We want to show you levels, so I know we do these deep dive assets, people wonder how curated the maps are, but this is actually in the game, right? So this is what you look at now. This is the level.
This is the level, yep. This is as you will see it when you play through the campaign in Planet Coaster 2. It's in Act 1, just after the prologue, a couple of tutorial levels, and you get straight into this level to test your management skills out with all the tools that we just saw from Xander and Robert there as well.
Cool. And one thing to point out as well, and I know we always say it, but this is a work in progress build.
Work in progress.
People who've seen different assets, if you go back, the eagle-eyed of you might spot there's already differences in this.
Yeah.
if you've been one of the people that've been lucky to come to a preview event, this will be different from that, because that's how development works. And I don't mean that in a obvious manner, but like we have to break these like weeks and weeks and weeks ago, right, to make sure we get the assets made.
Absolutely,
so.
It takes a while to cut the build or pull the build off, and then we have a look at it and test it. And also, things are just, we iterate on things. We're constantly iterating on what the game is and
Imagine,
the
no,
interface,
not
the
really. It's all
UI,
about
the
staff
visuals.
stuff.
We're always looking to polish it.
So
I feel like I've clickbaited my thumbnail with drop
my
tracks
fault.
and transfer tracks and stuff.
We blame him today. But
That's what they said they were doing.
But this is something
Yeah,
awesome.
here we
Should we
are.
have a little look around, and then you can talk us through what we're looking at?
Yeah, this is something awesome. It's one of my. I probably shouldn't say it because, like children, you're not supposed to have a favourite. But this is one of my favourite. I think because it's a really nice example of what a lot of elements new to Planet Coaster 2, right? We've got lots of verticality in this level. You can see that it's kind of built on this precipice of one of the sort of high peaks and mountains. It really shows off how different you can get the scenery assets that we've got in the game.
Yeah, because I didn't realise this.
The colour changes.
Yeah. What is this pack?
This is all the aquatic pack.
Right.
We've seen a lot of that in some of the other materials we've already sent out. Lots of that really lovely, vibrant, under the water feel to it, but just with some colour changes and the way that Dean, our art directors, placed them and sort of designed the level. Suddenly it takes on a bit of a sci-fi feel. Yeah. And that was the kind of theme behind this level. And it was inspired a lot by this fantastic coaster that's really part of the landscape. It's got that drop into the ground, inspired by a Hydron Collider, if I'm saying that.
I think so. Yeah,
Collider. The idea we're shooting these particles off, or the guests, as
nothing
I should
can
call
go
them.
wrong doing
But
that.
yeah,
nothing can go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong. And so that kind of theme built around this coaster.
Dunno, Jenny.
It comes out with a really lovely looking, inviting part to go and.
I mean, it's a great, obviously, designer's eye there. But I mean, I think when I first saw this, when you opened it, I was like, I don't remember seeing this on the themes list. And you're like, it's the same theme art.
Exactly.
You just change the thing. So this is cool.
Yeah, and one of the things when I first joined Planet Coaster and the project, a while ago now, I was looking at what players did with Planet Coaster and the parts. I would download them from the Steam Workshop and pick them apart and kind of go, oh wow, look at how did you build that, and look at all the pieces. And this had a very similar vibe with when Dean was showing it to us. I didn't quite know how he built this section over here. The idea is you've got this kind of like cooling pool and stuff. And it had that same vibe. I was like, wow, you've used these pieces. I never thought how you would use that. So it's really lovely to see. For me, I wanted to make sure we kept that in Planet Coaster 2. That idea of...
Well, I think you get more of it. You're going to get way more of it. Because the tools you're going to now at scaling, or the objects you're going to attach to stuff now, I think... Yeah. I mean, we have a really talented people in our art team, but I think opening up to our players and seeing what they come up with is going to be within hours. I think we're going to see some real special stuff at the workshop. But it'd be cool.
We saw that with the preview event already. Is that kind of that element. And the other section that's really with this ride is the dark areas of rides that we can now get. So we've had some eagle-eyed people see what this new tech will allow us to do in Planet Coaster 2, and it's called global illumination. It's a tech that people are quite used to. It's based on ray tracing technology. You have to have the right hardware. So, for example, on PC, you're going to need an RTX card or the equivalent AMD, which I don't know because I'm an NVIDIA person myself.
Oh, you're NVIDIA, okay. Yeah, that's good.
And it does run on consoles as well. And what that allows is this really natural feel to lighting. And most importantly, what that means is that we get...
We're going to ride the ride.
We're going to ride the ride. If I can... We'll ride the second ride. We'll ride the second ride. It gives you these dark interiors. Basically. Let's switch to the next train. As we got this chain hill, I'll turn that off as well.
There we go.
Yeah, so it allows... It gives a real lift to the entire scene. But like I say, it gives you the ability to create naturally dark interiors.
I think when you showed me this originally, compared to like what it was before GI, and now it's in there, it's honestly, it's well apart.
I take it for granted now because I'm quite used to it. But when you see the previous lighting model, which was great, it just allows even more options now. So we're into...
That gives me vertigo.
We get that really lovely dark interior, and then we come back out into the light again.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, I think for me, we said it earlier on. When you come out the tunnel and you get the bright light comes in, your eyes adjust.
Yeah.
That's such a really lovely effect,
Yes.
and I think players are really happy with this. And also, some of the rides that players can make, and we're touching on some of the stuff you get in pre-order editions and stuff like that, and in the game as well, the track rides where you can put them through dark areas and there's swivel cars, and I think you're going to see that in some of our assets we're going to put out later on. But I mean, it's really, really cool to have that sort of feature put in the game and enhanced for Planet Coaster 2. So
yeah, exactly. It's really I never get bored of riding this coaster. I wish I could do it in real life. And the other thing that this is that it shows off is that we do have the ride sequence triggers as well, which coincide with being able to build them with the event sequencer as well. One of our designers, James Taylor, he set the ride triggers up. You see there that smoke VFX turns off as the train goes in. And I think we just caught it there. The fire goes off as they sort of get fired out of the collider out to the other side.
And that's the sequence. So I think we saw that in Deep Dive number 2. So if you haven't seen that, chat, go back and have a look. But you've made it really easy to drag and drop, like how you're doing these effects.
Nice
and stuff.
timeline editor now. You place the point on the coaster you want to, and you can tie it all together. So it sort of works.
I just feel properly let down.
Being able to customize things as well.
I was expecting
the other thing to point out here, this has all been built.
all the stuff that they said in their post that they were doing, drop tracks, switch tracks and dark rides. Yeah, here we are.
You can do this yourself. Like, this is all made, this isn't like pre-generated.
Oh, I see 1 minute into a stream. And we've just been shown something that looks the same as Planet Coaster 1, as far as I'm
we're not going
concerned.
the other side of the map. We're going to show you in a second. Is there anything else we want to go through when we're out here? I'm not sure. I think we've covered most of them. VFX, we covered off. We showed the dark ride. That was cool. I guess one of the things, because we are
dark areas.
Dark areas.
Because I have to be careful, because I know technically people will say it's not a dark ride. It's lighting that allows you to give a dark area, such as underground, which gives that natural lighting. But then if you build a square box, a building, it will be dark inside. You put that power track through. Set it up with the event sequencer, things lighting off and stuff.
Well, I'm going to call it a dark ride. Right, if you want to pick peanuts out of whatever, you can. But I'm calling it a dark ride, and it's great. It looks fantastic. But that's cool. And then obviously,
what dark ride?
We've got some stuff to show off. I think we're going to go through some stuff you get if you pre-order, right? So obviously, you can pre-order this game now.
Yeah, I thought it would be a good opportunity to have a closer look at some of the pre-order and some of the deluxe pack content.
I think so. I think because seeing an image on a sort of on an end card is one thing, but then seeing what you actually get in the game is something else, right? So if you pre-order now, I think you're going to run through some of the bits we're going to have, right?
Yeah, if you pre-order, you will get access to the Watermax coaster, or Ultimax coaster, sorry. Which is this one here. I'm not going to attempt to build it again like I did on the Deep Dive. It's a big coaster. I have perhaps, spoiler, pre-built some other coasters. We'll have a look at it in a second. But yeah, you get access to this one. You'll also get access to no, that's in the deluxe content. Let me look here. The pre-order is the rotating ride. Yep.
FD Vision, I think it is.
FD Vision, which is under this one here, the FD Vision. So that's that's perhaps one.
So these are the ones that we're talking about. And we're not going to show it here because, like, you lay it down and you set your route you want to go down and what the,
this
what the
is one
carts
that's
can
probably,
do. And
a good candidate for a dark ride where you might want to put it through a dark area. Use your event sequences, like I was saying before, to build up that kind of experience for your guests.
Yep. Yeah. And you can also customise the carts as well, right?
Yes. All of these things, like we've seen in previous videos, you can customise the cars on these as well. So you can start to theme it how you want to. And then on the flat ride front, you'll also get access to the cube.
There we go. So if you pre-order, you get these 3.
Who's actually used that?
You can do right now. Yeah. And that's the cube. But is this new or is this a returner? I think it's new, isn't it?
This is a returning one from Planet Coaster, if I remember rightly. I don't know the list off the Planet.
I had to pay extra for that.
I'm afraid, but
that was a question you asked me not to ask you, and I've now asked you.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's the kind of guy I am, chat.
We roll with it. That's fine. Let's hook this up really quickly, shall we? Let's just put a little cue path in here. I'm going to try and keep the sort of feeling of what he's got, what we've built with that sort of that lovely layout of the paths. I'll just connect the exit as well.
Exit. Yes, down.
Draw the line tool. Put that there.
There we go.
And then I'm going to change the colours as well very quickly.
You're going to match it? You're going to try and match it?
Yeah. I'm going to take these colours here. Let's, as I was saying before, my old man eyes. Probably
I believe in you.
Yeah. Let's change that one.
There we go.
There we are. Confirm that. That's changed the back section. Let's keep change.
But that just shows you how quickly now you can do this now to match, right? So if you do want to start making this, we're talking to
You
put
could do that in the
right
old
down,
one.
to path it up, and you now customise it. We're taking 30 seconds here, and that's, that ride is down, and you're already customising it to make it fit your park.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Let's just take the grey colour as well, because we've got a nice accent colour of the sort of fuchsia. Is that the right word?
I want to say fuchsia is correct.
Say
I think that's
fuchsia.
correct. I don't want to argue with that. People will tell us different.
There we go. And then, of course, because I've now got it, it's in my palette, so I don't have to keep copying it across.
Perfect.
It's
There we
just
go.
now and then there's one more blue. Let's just change that over. Confirm that. And there we have one
There
that
we have
sort
it.
of sits within the theme of the level if I choose to. Right.
Yeah.
It's
And
completely
it's
up
telling
to
us
me.
we haven't got power, but we know we can hook
I
up
can
to power
put
if we do
power
want to
in,
hook up to
yeah.
power. But I mean,
Yeah.
that just shows you how quickly that is to put down a ride, customise a ride, and path it up.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, honestly, that's taken, I don't know, maybe a minute tops there, and that was, that's not even.
And on the power, actually, we do have a selection of power blueprints now as well. So
Oh,
we've
okay.
got the piece by piece where you can choose a generator or a solar power and then decorate it as you want to make sure that the scenery,
Matches.
sort of the negativity
Yeah.
around the scenery isn't too bad for your guests. Or you can choose to pick one of these lovely little blueprints that we've set up for you now as
Nice.
well. So again, a little bit of extra accessibility, quick and easy to place power down now.
Yeah. Awesome. Right. So that's the pre-order stuff. So all those three things you'll get if you pre-order it. However, if you pre-order or if you order the deluxe edition, I keep saying it deluxe. It's deluxe. I don't know why I can't say it correctly.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of stuff.
You do get a lot of things.
And now and again, this is all true. 20 minutes before the stream, you built these just really quickly.
I did really quickly,
just
really quickly.
Pop these
so
down.
please don't
Judge your
assess my
design.
coaster building skills based on this.
But you get all of this
Yeah.
content in the deluxe edition. So do you want to run us through what we're getting here, Adam?
Yeah, what you get is it's the vintage rides pack, so it's very kind of themed around that traditional vintage set of rides. So you get 3 wooden coasters. You get the Wild Mouse coaster. We'll just get this one testing as well, shall we? Which I've just built a little version of it here. You also get the side friction wooden coaster by Eddie Fun Mitchell Company.
Okay, yeah, big fan.
That big fan of those.
Big fan,
of
yeah.
those guys. We'll get that one testing as well. Which is quite an interesting one to build because you've got different restraints because of the technology based on the coaster. You know, it doesn't sort of bank as far. It doesn't. The chain hill is not as the slopes aren't as high and whatnot. So gives you a different sort of challenge.
More
to build.
challenges to just slapping down a ride and making it work.
Exactly. You also get the City Peninsula wooden coaster as well. We'll get this one testing, which is a bit more extreme. I quite enjoy.
That's quite a climb.
I quite like the shape. I think I've got the shape quite traditional for a wooden coaster. The kind of the sort of.
I like the bank
switchback.
turns and stuff you put in. I was watching
yeah,
you do it, and I was also, again, like, obviously, yes, I work for Frontier, and obviously you make the. But I was just watched how quickly you made it, and how although it's not the most complex, it's still there's a lot of stuff in this. When you look at it, there's you've got your drops, you've got your twist turns and stuff like that.
It's not too bad. It's perhaps a little bit too exciting, a little bit, but it's not too bad. I'm quite pleased with that one.
Yeah.
For
But
how
again,
quick I made it.
I was going to say exactly how quick you made it,
Yeah.
and then again, all of these rides you can customise, right?
Yeah.
Like everything else in the game, you can customise them.
Exactly that.
These aren't the exact rides again. These are ones you've built using the pieces for the
Yep.
ride.
You
So
can-
players will have to build whatever they want, right?
Absolutely, you can still attach scenery to these. You can change the colour of them if you want to. So it's all there for you to theme how you want to. And then you get a selection of flat rides as well, starting with the Monte Leone. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I'm glad you said it because there's no chance. I can't even say deluxe properly without. So yeah, let's stick with that.
Many years ago, I spent an entire interview saying deluxe.
Deluxe, yeah.
And then
yeah.
someone here told me, and I was mortified.
Oh yeah. It's
I now
exactly the same
try
scenario
and
actually.
say deluxe all the
I start to
time.
sweat a little every time I know I've got to say it. Oh, I've got to say that word again.
We have the Grand Carousel.
Oh, yep, a classic.
Classic.
An absolute classic. And again, all of this can be customised.
Absolutely, and you'll
blue
notice
white,
that
but-
this is a returning from Planet Coaster, but it's as we've taken across the sort of all the rides, we've taken the theming back ever so slightly, so that it's a bit more ready for you to add your own twist to it. Still looks fantastic straight off the bat, but now you can take it a little bit further. I was playing around earlier actually, see how sci-fi could make this, to see if it fits with the other side of the park, and it can be done.
I mean, I think when you guys first showed me the tiny eye and you just put the 3 down, and honestly, when I first looked at them, I was like, they're 3 separate rides, and you're like, is that like a meme, isn't it? They're exactly. It's like, no, these are totally different rides, but they're actually the same ride, which is really, really cool. And this looks terrifying.
The Chairplane, which I've got a terrible experience of one of these when I was a kid, that made me feel very sick. So good.
Oh, so you're
thumbs
a fan
up
then?
for that. I'm
You're
a big fan of that one. Yeah.
You don't want to go into first person and ride that one then? No, I'm not doing that. Okay, we'll leave it. Yeah.
We get classic Helter Skelter, which I always
That's
struggle
cool.
to pronounce.
I like that.
We won't test that because we haven't got any guests to test it, but that's, again, lovely.
Reminds me of Theme Park,
feel
the
to
original
that one.
game.
We've got the Hyperspin,
Something I've never used.
which again, I can't ride.
This is
spinny
definitely a
things, I'm
before
afraid.
lunch ride.
I could do coasters. I can't ride spinny things.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. And then, again, I've done 2 favourites tonight, haven't I? But buoyancy is possibly.
What is this? This looks
This
dangerous.
is a really interesting ride. This is quite a. I don't want to say old-fashioned, vintage, I suppose, is what I should be saying.
Yeah.
Right? It's a vintage kind of water ride, which is like a reverse drop, so that you get pulled into a body of water, and then because of physics, you get launched back out of it. Oof. So it's kind of like a reverse drop.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So it's a really nice one. I'm looking forward to seeing what.
I think there'll be some really great themes around this as well. I think this will fit in. I mean, of course. There's also a ride track in as well.
There's
isn't
also.
I have to search that up, Leo. I've never seen one of them in my life before.
In this pack.
So
as well.
all of that and a track ride.
Is that all it does?
It's the deluxe edition. So it's a lot of content.
content.
It's a lot of content.
Yeah.
And we just thought we wanted to show it this way. If you pan back ever so slightly there, Adam, I think when you look at it and you think, actually, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff you can get there, and you'll be able to build some really wild and incredible stuff.
They
And I
say
think
it is.
seeing what people do with this vintage pack will be really, really sweet. And of course, type in with the switch tracks and the drop tracks that are in there. They're in there.
They're there.
Very, very exciting to see what's going to happen, and with all different theming we're going to have in the game.
Yeah, aquatic, mythology, Viking, resort, colour change across all of them.
Yeah. I think people are going to be. It's going to be wild to watch the first couple of weeks what people come up with. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what people come up with. But Adam, I think we're getting towards the end of your segment. I do want to thank you for coming in. I know it's late. I know you're working really hard, as is the whole team.
Yeah.
But if we can have some, just some thanks in the chat for the wonderful Adam. I'm sure we'll drag you back on again for some more stuff.
If you stop talking for a couple of seconds, I'm talking about Planet Coaster 2, so I might as well do it on the stream.
Exactly that.
Anyone stops going, I'm like, oh, have you talked? Let's
have I
talk
told you
about
about
Planet
this?
Coaster 2 then.
Have I told you this?
So I'm more than happy to come and talk more.
Brilliant. Well, you've said it now, so we will have you back. Right, okay, so I think in order to play us out, I think we've got the wonderful pre-order trailer for you, chat. So remember, have a look through. You've just seen some of the items you can get for if you pre-order now and the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
And we're going to run that trailer for you right now. See you in a bit.
Pretty much, Neil. I just feel like I've wasted an hour of my life, literally. Again. They literally labelled all their social media the last 2 days Switch tracks, drop tracks, and dart rides. Yeah, all we have learnt about is the stuff that 99% of the people in my chat want to know nothing about. And even there, they got the teaser for the Greek section, and they haven't shown us anything of the Greek apart from some kind of character.
Before we continue with the rest of the show, we have got our giveaway starting now. So we've got lots of stuff to give away. What have we got, Arthur?
Well, we've got the standard cap for Planet Zoo. We have the beanie for Elite Dangerous. We've got some pin badges, Zoo and Elite Dangerous.
I guess
we
that's
have
it then.
a Corsair HS60 haptic headset. We've got a HyperX keyboard. We've got a Planet Zoo vinyl, and we've got the wonderful Planet Zoo press kit, which has got like the Stanley Cup. Yeah, the Stanley-esque cup. It's not an actual Stanley Cup, but a Stanley-esque cup. It's a lovely, wonderful bit.
As far as I'm aware, that's it.
So,
I don't really want to sit around here for another hour and a half and
we need you to type in !PlanCo2. So this is a competition for Twitch only, unfortunately. Sorry, YouTube. So all you need to do is type in !PlanCo2 with an exclamation mark at the start. It's all lowercase as well. And if you want to learn about the T's and C's, then visit frontier.co.uk/legal. So with our lovely giveaway starting, we are going to talk about Planet Zoo. So we've got Planet Zoo now, and then we've got lots to come for Elite as well.
Big show. Told you it's a big show.
Well, that's it on Planet Coaster 2 then, guys. So
last month
we'll leave that there then. As I put, deep dive into drop tracks, transfer tracks, dart rides and more. That was what they labelled all their social media as. Yet here I am. Feel like I've clickbaited you all. Right, guys, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have hour break, and then I'll come back building from the park, just give you updates and maybe try and do some building. But my apologies, utmost apologies for that, because that was not what they labelled it to be. It doesn't say it here, but if I was to get their Facebook up and everything, it's unbelievable. Anyway, maybe I've misread something along the way, but everybody was doing the same kind of thing as in YouTube. But anyway, guys, right, I'm going to pop off just for a little bit. Thank you for joining the stream. Sorry we got scammed, but it is what it is. At least we know how to play the game if we decide to play it with management. Anyway, I do feel a little bit red-faced, I'm going to be honest with you. But guys, I'll leave it there. It's just unbelievable. To defend myself, I am literally, give me 2 seconds, guys, because I'm going to go to in a momento, because I'm sure getting into nuts and bolts. Where's their post from earlier? Bear with me. There you go. So, in a momento, there it is. Switch tracks, drop tracks and dart rides. You heard that right. Check them out in today's Frontier Unlocked live stream from 6 PM this evening. So that's what I labelled my video on, because that's what they said it was going to be. Yet we didn't see one drop track, we didn't see one switch track, and we didn't see any dart rides. So, pure clickbait, guys. So my sincere apologies. I did label the video right. It's just difficult. Literally, that's why I went off. Look, 2 hours ago they did that. 2 hours ago. And he even put here, please include transfer tracks and the ability to add remote coasters. So people were on the bandwagon. So was I. And then we don't get a single bit of drop track or anything. I might refund the game, get me money back. Totally misleading that is. But look, switch tracks, drop tracks, and dart rides. You heard it right. Check them out in today's Frontier Unlock live stream. Am I missing something? I mean, they got it wrong. I even said to Darren. Darren texted me earlier and said, "Are you going to be live streaming the live feed?" And I said, "Well, no." I said, "Because all it's going to be is staff and entertainers and stuff like that." And he texted back saying, "No, I'm sure it's drop tracks and switch tracks." So I checked the website. It says drop tracks, switch tracks. So I labelled the thumbnail as it. Got it all ready, hoping we are all going to have good fun and chill and watch something amazing instead of being sat here now for an hour and 5 minutes going, "Bleh." Again, that's the worst thing about it, is that this keeps happening. And you just sit there and you think, why aren't they showing us the good stuff? And I don't even think on, when's it going to be? On the 30th of October, that they're going to show us anything more than they already have. They're probably just going to go back over what they've already told us and go, look forward to seeing you next week and all your creations on the new game. Going on tonight's live stream. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to keep going on because I need to go and get some food. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to bring that image back up because I was correct. And I'm going to put that just there because it says switch track, drop track, and dart rides. Unbelievable. It's called clickbait, Margin. So basically, they've put something to get people to come and watch and not done what they've put. It's as cut and dry as that. But anyway, yeah, may see you in a bit, guys. See how I'm feeling. I've only done a little bit of work on the Moroccan African area. Just added in some trees and bits and bobs. So I'll leave it there for now. Thank you for joining. I can't really say I hope you enjoyed, because if you enjoyed the management side of the game, I hope you enjoyed. But that bit what they showed us at the end there with the ray tracing, to me, didn't look any different really to the current game. There was no dart rides, there was no nothing. So again, they've let us down, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. I'm kind of getting used to it now. But maybe that's why they didn't want me as a content creator. Who knows? So guys, I'll leave it there. I may be back in a little while. If not, I'll be back at some point tomorrow. See you later, guys. Bye bye.